The site chosen for the Weir installation was Brubaker Run, a tributary to Clearfield Creek. Here, we removed an old weir which was in terrible shape and unfit for proper flow measurements. The old weir had ground cut from underneath it and was not level. After removing the weir, a new location was chosen to place a new weir. While at the site, measurements were taken of the bank and of the width of the stream. Measurements were also taken of the old weir to help develop flow parameters for the new weir.
After going out to the site on a rainy day, it was determined that the site should be moved slightly upstream from where we had originally chosen. The new site would allow for deeper flow and more accurate measurements.
The final product was a rectangular notch weir. The notch was 6 inches deep and 2 feet wide. The weir itself was 12 feet long and 1.5 feet tall. 4 support beams were screwed into the wood to ensure that it would not fall apart. Caulking was applied to the cracks to make sure no water would leak through. The weir was then transported to the site to be installed.
When we got to the site, we realized that the weir would be too long and the banks would need to be severely dug into. In order to fix this problem, we cut approximately 2 feet off the end of the weir.
In preparing the bank to install the weir, a 3-inch bed needed to be dug to make sure the weir was buried under the stream bed. Branches were removed to make installation easier, and the banks were dug into to make sure the weir would slide into place easily. All rocks were removed and thrown downstream.
After the bank was prepared for the weir to be installed, clay was made. When we placed the weir into the channel and stabilized it with rebar, we made sure the notch was leveled to ensure proper measurements. Using water from the stream and bentonite clay, a thick clay mixture was made to place into the bank and stream bed. Several buckets of clay were made throughout the process. Leaving a channel under the middle of the weir, both banks were filled with clay. After the clay was added to the banks, rocks were used to make a temporary dam upstream of the weir. As quickly as possible, clay was added to the bottom of the stream bed to make sure no water was going through. A few cracks were seen, so more clay was added to locations where water was leaking through.
After clay was added, dirt and rocks were placed onto the banks to make sure the weir stayed in place. The last step to installing the weir was placing a piece of rebar behind the notch. The rebar needed to be level with the notch to properly calculate flow measurements.